Hey gang, it's Kara and Dobie Joe again. Boy, do we have a lesson in front of us today. We are going to learn the F chord, all right? I'm not going to lie to you. This is a challenge. Shouldn't be easy. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it, right? The F chord, page 62. All right, there's a few places, different ways, different places on the neck where we can play an F chord that will work just fine. Here's the thing about bar chords is they are going to require you to have some muscle and some stamina and some pretty good calluses built up to play them, okay? It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to train for it, and it will eventually get easier and easier and easier. I'm saying that, and also you need to know that if you are at a certain age, as I am, and arthritis and different things are kicking in, and you know for a fact that the F chord barred like this is not going to be in your future, then I'm going to give you a few other options, okay? And they're perfectly legitimate options. They're just different positions that you can play this F chord in. Let's go ahead and explore those really quickly, okay? Now, the easiest way to play an F chord, if you ask me, because you've already done all this work on your D chord, right? You take the same shape, your fingers are in the same chord shape, and you take it all the way up to the 5th fret. And it looks like a little D chord up there on the 5th fret. Okay? Now, the trick is you can only play those 3 strings. If you strum this one, see, that's going to sound weird. That sounds even weirder. That sounds horrible. So when you strum your F chord, if you're using this little D shape to go all the way up to the 5th fret, make sure, 100% sure, that you're only strumming those 3 strings. So you're going to make a sacrifice. You're not going to have that big low F boom sound that you'll get if you do the bar chord, but it's a doable way to play your F, okay? Now another trick, a temporary substitute, is to play a chord that's called an F major 7, okay? This will get you through in a pinch. It's not always going to sound perfect, but it'll get you through. What you're going to do is you're going to put your first finger, your second finger, and your third finger on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd frets of the B, G, and D string, just like that diagram I've shown you, okay? Now when you play your F major 7, you get to play 4 strings, but what we're doing is we're opening up this E notes to play open, and that gives it the major 7 sound, the jazzier sound. So that F shape will get you through in a pinch if you need it, okay? Now the next thing you can do is after you've mastered an F major 7, you can take your pointer finger and move him from standing up on his fingertip like we always strive to do, right? And we want to lay him flat and make sure that he's actually covering both of those first strings. In the video, it might look like he's covering 3, but I've only got him on the first 2 strings right up there at the top of that 1st fret like that. And then my 2nd and my 3rd finger going like this. Now, the hardest part about this chord shape that I'm in right now is I'm asking my index finger to go like this, okay? I'm asking him to flatten out like that. And I'm asking my other 2 fingers to give me an extreme arch, all right? So we've got 2 different commands going on, flatten out and be up on an arch with these 2, okay? And that can be a little bit confusing to the left hand when it first starts playing it, okay? So don't think that that's gonna come easy, practice it. None of this ever comes easy, folks. If you have the patience with yourself, you are going to get it. Kitty, 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 kitty. You want to come up here? No? All right. Got animals all around my feet. Okay, so that is the alternate ways. Those are the alternate ways to play an F. You can go up here to the 5th fret, play a little D-shaped chord, okay, on the 5th fret. You can play an F major 7, or you can flatten out that first finger and play an F that way. Now, this 3rd example that I'm showing you, that is a perfectly legitimate F. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not. That is a full F chord right there, okay? Boom. Don't ever let anybody think that you're cheating, because there's no such thing as cheating. You're just modifying a little bit. All right? Now, to play the big F chord, I'm going to flip over here to page 63 real quick. When we play our bar chord, bar is spelled B-A-R-R-E, by the way, and what it means is we're taking, usually it's our index finger, and we're barring it all the way across, almost like a capo. We haven't really talked about capos in this book, but it's like a capo, so it just takes your strings, it shortens your strings as you go up, right? Okay, so the first thing we got to do is we've got to get that first finger used to that bar motion. And I've given you a drawing there that says feel the burn. Because if you're doing this correctly, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to feel this muscle burning in your thumb. Your thumb is working every bit as hard, if not harder, than your index finger is. It's forming that clamp right behind there, and it's clamping that index finger down, okay? Now, when you play a bar chord, you're not going to take that, you're going to put all the clamp between your fingers. You're not going to pull back on yourself like this. I've had a lot of students when they first start playing bar chords, they pull back on the guitar like that. One thing that does is it makes your guitar go out of tune. So if I'm playing a G chord, hear how I pull that neck back? All right, that makes it go, boo. You don't want to do that. So make all the force happen between these two fingers. Don't think that you're going to pull back against your body and that's going to help you. That's going to only sound weird, okay? All right. So I say breaking down the F bar chord here, and I say that I want you to warm up by placing your pointer finger all the way across your 5th fret, and we're going to really clamp down. Now, probably what's going to happen is you're going to be complaining a lot. I can feel it from here, because you're going to say to me that like this little crack in your knuckle right here underneath is catching the string and it won't press down. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that's going to happen to make you feel like you just can't do this. I'm not going to lie to you, but you can. You got to flatten that finger out big time and squeeze with all you got on your thumb, and you're going to callus up in a brand new way. And the more you callus up and the more you practice this, the more you're going to get nice clean notes like I'm going to ask for, okay? All right. In the middle of the page, we start on the 5th fret. We're going to strum all 6 strings like this, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Then we're going to go to the 4th fret, and we're going to do the same thing. Let's see how much stamina I've got. My old fingers are already telling me, girl, you don't want to be playing these bar chords so much. 3rd fret. 2nd fret. Now this might be too much to do right off the bat. Don't worry about doing it all. I got a dead one on my G string out of fatigue, out of 61-year-old fatigue. I used to play in bands and I would play bar chords for 4 or 5 hours a night and never get tired. At 61, it's a little bit harder for me to do, I'm not going to lie to you. So if you're taking this instruction book with me and you're in your 50s or 60s, it's a lot easier to do when you're younger because you don't feel all that pain and our fingers haven't stiffened up yet. The more we work them, the better off it's going to be. But I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little bit hard. Now, also, one thing to keep in mind, the hardest place to put your bar finger is going to be on that 1st fret. Okay? The reason being is when we're pushing down like up in here, the string has got a lot of give in it. Okay? The farther we go down the neck and the closer we get to that nut, the harder it is to push down because we're basically pushing down against the nut of our guitar. That's not easy to do. So this is also a good time to make sure your action's set well on your guitar. The action on a guitar is referring to the distance between the string and how far it is to the surface of the fretboard. Okay, we refer to that as action. And the action on a guitar should be, in a way, it should be so that you can just press down without a whole lot of effort and make these chord shapes. If you're having to press down really hard up here on the high side of your neck especially, you probably need a truss rod adjustment, okay? And any local guitar shop should know how to do that for you. All right, so I want you to spend a considerable amount of time on page 63 on that exercise. Do it for a while, rub the finger, rub that thumb muscle right there, rub that out. Do it again. Stretch, lots of stretches, maybe some ibuprofen, all right? Okay, the next thing I want you to do on this page is I want you to use your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger, right? Almost as if you were playing, let me show you basically what I mean. If you play an E chord, you're using those 3 fingers, okay? What I'm going to ask you to do is to change the fingering of your E chord and practice it with your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger. Now, I've given you a diagram right there, okay? And it's got your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger on the 2nd fret and the 3rd fret of those strings that they're on right now. What is it? We've got G, D, and our A string, right? So we're going to do an open and repeat exercise on that, okay? Make absolutely sure those are the fingers you're using. Now you might be thinking, why am I not using the regular fingers that I use to make an E shape? Well, because we're going to do a bar chord here in a second, and you're not going to have those fingers all available. So I want you to spend some time doing that, okay? All right. Now once you've got that down, and once you've done all the other exercises on page 63, and you've built up a little stamina, you've built up some muscle in that thumb, I want you to try to play the whole F chord barred, okay? So when you do that, you lay this finger across the first fret, you lay 2, 3, and 4 fingers in underneath it, and that's your F bar chord. Now here's a little secret. Remember what I said about how hard it is to press down up here? Okay? You could practice this F shape or E shape, we call it an E shape bar chord. You can practice it up in the middle of the neck where it's a little bit easier to press down. Okay? So practice it, open the fingers up, play it again, like that. On and on and on, and then take it down a fret, practice it there, take it down again, keep working it down until you get used to holding it down there at the first fret. But it's definitely going to be much easier to do up there on the 5th fret. Okay? Now, I'm going to digress for a minute. I'm going to tell you something that's really cool. Let's talk about this really quickly. Let's talk about the chromatic scale. Now, we're not going to talk about it in terms of how to play it on the guitar. We're going to just talk about it in name only and what the notes are. If we start the chromatic scale and we say the first note we're going to play is an A note, the next note is going to be an A sharp. The next note after that is a B. The next note after that is a C. And then C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A again, okay? Now, all you have to remember is the musical alphabet goes from A to G, correct? There is no H. So don't be saying H and H sharp. It just goes to G. As soon as you get to G and you want to continue in the alphabet up the neck, you say A after G. Okay? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, with all the sharps in flats in between. Now we're mostly going to talk about sharps because we're guitar players and we like to talk about sharps. Okay? A little bit higher than an A is an A sharp. And then the next letter would be B. Now here's where it gets weird. I'm going to tell you 2 things to remember. Big cats, and elephant farts. Elephant farts. That's what I said. Elephant farts. Big cats, elephant farts. B, C, E, F. When you are talking your way up the musical alphabet, you are going to go directly from a B to a C. You're going to go directly from an E to an F. All the other notes have sharps in front of them. Okay? So it would be A little bit higher is A sharp. A little bit higher than that is a B. There's no such thing as a B sharp. There kind of is, but it's really a C. So remember big cat. So you go B and then you go C. What comes after C? What's a little bit higher? C sharp. What comes after C sharp? D. D as in dog. What's higher than a D? A D sharp. What's higher than a D sharp? E. What's higher than an E? F. Because elephant farts, there's no E sharp. We're not going to talk about E sharp. If anyone ever tells you to play an E sharp, they mean for you to play an F. Don't ask me about that right now. Just take my word for it. Okay? What comes after F? What's a little bit higher than an F? An F sharp. What's a little bit higher than an F sharp? G. What comes a little bit higher than a G? A G sharp. And we're out of the alphabet, so we got to start over again at A. Okay? A, B, C, D, E, F. That's an F chord. A, B, C, D, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D. All right, if you hold this chord shape down, this E-shaped bar chord, if you hold it down, every time you move up a fret, you're playing a brand new chord, okay? All right, that's just kind of a fun side track to go down with me. All right, if you don't understand it, you don't have to understand it right now. But if you get it, lights are going off and you're going, oh man, I can play every major chord there is to play on the guitar now, just with one shape. It's not the easiest shape to do, but it's doable. Okay? All right, let's play page 64 together now. I want you to decide at this point, before you play page 64 with me, I want you to decide which F shape you want to use to play your F chord. Remember, you've got this F up here, which is little d. Okay? You've got an F major 7 you can play. You can lay that first finger down and play an F like this, or you can play the big barred version that we just learned. Okay? This is not going to be a lesson that you can do in 1 or 2 hours. This is going to be one that takes you a few weeks to work on. And you've got to have what? You've got to have patience with yourself. All right. Let's try line number 1 on page 64. We're going to go for it. I think for the most part I'm going to play my bar chords unless my arthritis in my left hand kicks in and I have to do something else. But you'll know because you'll see me. All right, page 64. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. We're going to do every line twice. Here's our second C. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and F. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here comes line 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. There's an F major 7. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and line 2 again. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and line 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 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 F. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Here comes line 4. Boom, diddy, boom, diddy, boom, diddy, boom, diddy, boom, diddy. That's the F major 7. Diddy, boom. You can play anything you want when I'm playing this, okay? We can play different Fs and they'll sound fine together. Boom, diddy, boom, diddy, boom, diddy, boom. Here we go, exercise 5. It's 2 lines long. Here we go. Boom, diddy, boom, diddy. Here comes the G chord. Let's do that one more time. Line 5 from the top. Line 5. Get my fingers working for me. F. Back to C. And here's that G. Okay? All right, gang, so that is how we play the 3 most important chords when we're playing in the key of C. C, F, and G are the chords that we're going to play the most of. And so far, you've got the 3 important chords down for several keys now. You've done the key of A, which is A, D, and E, your A, D, and E chords. You've got the key of E, which is E, A, and B, and I touch a really nice B7 chord. You've got the key of D, D, G, and A, and now you've got the key of, you've got G, C, and D, and now you've got the key of C, which is C, F, and G. So man, you are gaining some road here. Way to go, right? Now, like I said, in lesson 61, the last video I gave you, I said I really need you to be caught up on the whole book before we start tackling this F chord. And I mean that. I want you to take a break from the videos if you need to. Go back and do the whole darn book over again if need be. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you're caught up. Everybody works this at a different pace. Some people are going to fly through this and they're going to be bored, and they're going to write to me and say, hey, you played everything way too slow for me. And some people are going to say, hey, that was too fast for me. And you gotta find your own pace and honor that, right? Be patient with yourself. Honor where you need to be. You are an individual. Everyone learns differently, and no one's any better than anybody else right now. You're all just learning, okay? Please remember that and be kind to yourself, okay? I will see you the next time. We're going to tackle the song Billy in the Low Ground on page 65 the next time we see each other. That's a lot of fun. We got some really cool new things to learn on that page. All right, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Bye-bye.